There's a big question, like the elephant inside of the room, whenever we talk about aviation, and that's how much does it cost? So, racing, I'm sure it's painful. How much does it cost? I mean, because the airplane's expensive, but outside of that,
It's painful.
even more painful.
If it weren't so much fun, it would be really painful. But it is expensive. The beauty of cross-country racing is if you have your own airplane, most insurance companies do not exclude cross-country racing, so it just costs you a little bit of avgas or Jet A if you got a jet, and you go out and have a good time. Reno with the closed course, there's a little bit more risk involved. So I say a little bit more because I think Mom's on.
There's no risk, Mom. It's fine.
So anyway, it's there's a little bit more risk involved, and so things like insurance have gotten insanely expensive, and then also because of how dynamic and how much skill flying like this requires, it is a perishable skill. I spend about 100 hours a year flying the Legacy. At least 80 of that is in formation.
Just to be current inside of it, proficient inside
Correct.
of it. And is that an insurance kind of thing that they like to see?
I'm sure they love seeing that I fly it a lot instead of a little. The insurance company for me doesn't have a minimum hourly requirement that I have to put on. But that's what it takes for me to be comfortable flying in this close formation with everybody else, practicing simulated flameouts and engine failures and things like that. So in addition to your race entry costs, a week at PRS, a week at Reno, hotels, food, insurance, maintenance, fuel, oil, insurance, which is a huge
You said that twice.
number.
Is
Yes.
it really expensive?
Yes, it's gotten a lot more expensive this year as well.
I remember I asked him about that once, and he says he's not going to tell us, which that's fine. I want you guys to understand, if you remember Draco, Mike Patey, he had Draco's beautiful plane, and he made a whole video on how he's no longer going to do any type of racing or anything with Draco because it was costing him in insurance $50,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's insane. So I can imagine that just a couple days of racing, how much they're going to charge you because it is.
Yeah. Well, and my insurance cost has the same number of digits. It's not anywhere near that expensive.
Oh, good.
But it has the same number of digits. So that kind of gives you an idea of what it costs. And I burn 16 to 18 gallons an hour depending on how hard I'm pushing it at $5 a gallon. It's an expensive sport. There's no two ways about it. And
okay. So how do you help compensate for that?
So in 2019, we were lucky enough to have a really big sponsor, Bendix King. They're still supporting us, but really at the end of the day, what makes this race work is sponsorship.
Sponsorships.
Most people can't afford to foot the whole bill for multiple years in a row out of their own pocket, so sponsorships really help. We're looking for more sponsors. This year we have Bendix King is still a sponsor. We have Air Capital Insurance. We have R&E Oil Coolers up in Prescott. They do oil cooler service. And then we have Ryan Machine, which is a machine shop that builds custom tools for aviation, like Lycoming case splitting tools,
Nice.
wing bolt wrenches for Beechcraft series of airplanes and things like that. So we have a couple of sponsors that are helping us out with some of our in-kind needs right now. Mm-hmm. But finding more sponsors really would help make
Always
this
helpful.
season.
Because, I mean, and just like any racing, the sponsorships help, and it helps the sponsors getting their name out and everything,
Right.
but it makes your plane faster. I know the sponsorship doesn't in part make this plane faster because the sticker you put on it actually creates drag a little
Exactly.
bit, but what makes an airplane faster? Money.
That's right.
So-
And without the sponsor stickers, even though it's a little bit of drag, the airplane doesn't go at all. Right?
Without the sponsor, yeah,
it
the
does
airplane
make
doesn't
them
go at all.
faster. I think Andy Finley was the one that told me that. We really appreciate our sponsors and our help. One of the neat things about the sport class is the sport class is extremely innovative. We've gone in the course of, I think the sport class is now in its 22nd year. In 22 years, we've gone from airplanes that would do little more than 250 miles an hour to over 400 miles an hour, all in people's garages and home hangars and things like that, which is a pretty big feat to be able to it's not quite double the speed, but it's at least another 80%. And anybody who knows anything about aerodynamics, to get 80% faster, that's a monumental undertaking.
Well, just to explain it to people who don't understand, the faster you go, the more air starts acting like a liquid. And if you've ever taken your arm and tried to push it through water,
yep, that's exactly right.
Resistance, and so you need more horsepower to go faster. So, all right, guys. Well, Joe, if any of our viewers wanted to help you in any way, do you have a couple ways that they could?
Yeah, so we have our website set up. You can find us there at info@rampratracing.com. And we have a sponsorship program that we've set up where we have some pretty neat things that we can offer our partners, both in coming to Reno, signage on the airplane, on our website, things like that. And then we also have opportunities to have discussions with people in person and whatnot. So there's a lot of cool things. If you have a business or an individual that would like to get involved in racing, come out and get the VIP experience out at Reno. We'll find a way of making that happen.
Awesome. And I know that your website's under development right now while we're talking about this. So if you're interested, definitely there's contact information. Send him an email and he will get back with you. But I understand how important that is. And so, and I really want to see you succeed in the racing, and I want to come to Reno and cheer you guys on. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so exciting. It really is.
It's a ton of fun. It's one of the best weeks of the year.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video, and we hope you liked that clip from our last live stream. We're going to be recording live streams once a month from here on out and cutting some of those into more digestible pieces or clips and releasing them on the channel once a week. So make sure to head on over to our channel page to check some of our other clips out and subscribe while you're there so you don't miss any of the new ones. Anyways, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.